What is up to YouTube, to wherever you're listening to this podcast at? It is your boy Counts back with another episode of the Talking with Counts podcast show. And man, it's been a minute. If y'all noticed, I said YouTube in the front of that, and it's because we've been uploading these episodes to YouTube now. And that's been exciting. We've been getting some extra views on there, getting some extra listens in, and I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all keep me going. Y'all keep me pushing the content out. And as far as YouTube, we've been grinding on there. We've been kicking ass, been uploading a lot of content, and I hope y'all enjoy it, man. Well, for the most part, it seems like y'all have. So, we've been going hard on YouTube. On a separate note, I'm currently thinking about launching another podcast outside of the Talking with Counts podcast. This isn't going anywhere. These intimate sessions, these divulging of emotions and thoughts are going to stay. It's going to continue. But I'm thinking about opening up a new podcast where it's recorded visually and it's in a little bit of a, not a studio, but kind of like a set, and we can just get guests on there and just talk about whatever outside of these, like I said, these episodes that's on the Talking with Counts podcast show that is just strictly for emotional intelligence, for growth, and for better understanding of yourself. So I'm thinking about creating a whole new podcast. So that's exciting. But other than that, I just want to get straight into this episode because it's such a great episode, and I hope y'all enjoy, man. I missed y'all, and I appreciate y'all for tuning in. So let's just get straight to it. Yep, Counts out. Maybe it's me. For so long, I thought I was good. I thought I was just blind to all of my shortcomings. I felt this way because I had accomplished so much in such a short amount of time. I wasn't perfect, but I felt I was. It seemed like my growth had nowhere to go. Now, by this time, we all know the drastic downfall that I had taken. Losing loved ones and being hurt by someone you love the most. Majority of that blame I displaced onto the person who caused such pain for me. Coming to that realization that maybe it was me. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think I deserved the type of hurt that came my way. But even still, now in a place where I'm happy, healed, and I found peace, I just find myself falling into the same patterns that I used to have. Maybe I'm not ready for love. Maybe I'm not built for it. I'm stubborn. I'm hard-headed. And to be honest, I can really be a dick. I find myself more and more shut off to the idea of love. Not in a sense where I don't want it, but in a sense where I reject it. That guard is up, and at times it can feel impenetrable. Due to that, I find myself just overlooking people who are so good to me, making any excuse to say I'm not ready. So, maybe it is me. And honestly, I am the problem. The thing is, I'm man enough to admit that it's me. I'm smart enough to know that I am the problem, and I'm mature enough to take the steps to fix the problem. So, maybe it is me, but it doesn't always have to be. Alright, y'all, so y'all just listen to Maybe It's Me. Y'all listen to the written part. First and foremost, I want y'all to know, I had already recorded the whole second part of this, the part y'all are hearing now, it was already recorded. I felt like it was important for me to be able to come back and speak on things again, because I literally just had a moment to where it's yeah, no, it's definitely me, right? And I think it's important for me to be able to speak on that in the moment that I'm feeling that. And so I think it's important to be able to recognize your flaws. I think it's important to be able to take a step back and evaluate yourself. A lot of the times we just tend to push the blame on others and try to only live up to their part of the disagreement or the argument or the blame. We try to displace all of that because we don't look inside of ourselves. And there are so many times where I did that in my healing process, and in the process to finding happiness and peace, I displaced that blame solely onto my ex for so long, until I had to take a step back and realize the parts where I'm flawed at, the parts where I'm failing at, And that realization came from just speaking and talking to others and realizing that, yo, you're just not there. You're not ready. And that's a big thing to be able to admit. Everybody wants that person that makes things feel easier for them. Everybody wants a significant other. Everybody wants a partner. But it's got to come at a time when you're ready for that partner. You can't force that, because the second you try to force that, you realize you're going to end up hurting someone just the way you. And I know for a lot of y'all, that's never something that you want. Once you've been hurt, once you've been scarred deeply, you never want to displace that onto somebody else. But for myself, I realized that if I keep trying to stimulate that feeling of affection coming from somebody else, I'm just going to hurt someone. And it's also a thing, like, realizing, like, no, like, you got your own things that you want to accomplish. You got shit you need to do. And it's okay just not to be ready. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing about me right now, bro. I really feel like I am at the perfect time to just be able to take a step back and do for me. Take a step back and focus on myself. Love myself, care for myself, cater for myself. Do all the things that I want to do for myself that I've never got the opportunity to do so for me before. And that's very important to me, y'all. Like, so important. And I said, like, yo, I had recorded this already. Like, it was ready to go. We're ready to lock in, drop it. But then it's just like, I find myself listening to somebody explain something that they got going on, and then it's boom. Like, as fucked up as it sounds, like, I just did not give a fuck. And it's like, why do I feel that way? Why do I have this void in me to where I feel like I lack emotion, empathy, sympathy for other people's situation? Or just, you know what I'm saying, you want someone to be there for you, why can't you be there for someone in the same way? And I just feel incapable of doing that right now. Now listen, one thing about me is I know I'm a great fucking guy. I know I do the things that I need to do when in a relationship. Like, there's no questioning that shit anymore for myself. I used to question it all the time, because if I was really that great, would this shit have happened to me? Nah, we don't question that no more. But now I'm questioning, like, am I going to ever be able to get back to that point? And that's up to me to ultimately decide, because we choose who we want to be in life. We choose how we want people to perceive us. We choose what version of us is shown to others. And it's very important for me to want to be able to give that best version of myself. And I feel like I'm not capable right now. So going along this line, going along this journey of finally realizing, like, maybe it is you, you know, maybe you have to account for some of the blame. Maybe you got to own up to your own actions and see where you go wrong. Now, this is a crazy way to think of it, but it's perspective. Everything in life is about perspective. But you, the person listening to this, are someone's bad story. Someone has had a bad story about you. Relationship, life, whatever the case is. In someone's book, you are a bad chapter. There's a chapter written about you, good, bad, whatever the case may be, there's a chapter written about you. And for everybody's chapter that you're involved in, it's not always going to be good. So it's taking a step back and realizing and taking that accountability where you went wrong. So that's why I say maybe it is me. Because I probably got a few bad chapters in a couple people's books, especially now. Because I feel like I'm trying to be attentive to something that I can't be attentive to until I'm attentive to myself. So maybe it is me. In fact, it is me. I'm literally making this episode right now after, like, I realized it was me. So love yourself, cater to yourself, find yourself. Stop trying to rush that process. If love, happiness, whatever is going to come with a partner, it's going to come because it came naturally. But you have to be at a point to where you're able to give that version of yourself that you know you're ultimately capable of giving. Again, don't rush that shit, man. There's literally so many chapters in your book. There's so much unknown about your story. And it's your job to take every day as a day to write another chapter. If not writing a page a day, a sentence a day, you're continuing your journey in your book. Don't rush it. Take accountability when you fuck up. Come to the understanding that It is you, and it's not always everybody else. In order to be the best version of yourself, you gotta fuck up. You gotta understand where you go wrong and when you go wrong. That's just a part of my life that I'm realizing right now. Again, it's a lot of shit I fuck up on. It's a lot of times when I go wrong. And again, the whole point of me for redoing this whole second part is because I realized it is me yet again. I gotta hold myself to a better standard of holding empathy, sympathy, all that. I gotta hold myself to a better standard of allowing people to come into my life for the better. I gotta allow myself the opportunity to replace and to better understand that broken side of me until I can allow someone to come in. It's no one else's job to heal you. It's your job to heal yourself. So, like I said, maybe it is me. Nah, it 1000% is me right now. It's not always gonna be me, but I'm gonna get on my morals. I'm gonna stand on my ground, and I'm gonna fix myself. I love y'all, man. Y'all tune in every time I drop an episode. Y'all are there for me. Y'all rock with me, and I appreciate y'all. Again, take accountability, understand where you go wrong, look at yourself, and realize that you got some improvements to do. With that being said, I love y'all, and counts out.